guys, welcome back to my channel. How's everybody doing today? Hopefully everybody is doing well. All right, guys, well, I know I'm a little bit late on this one. A lot of people have already done this review, but I just got around to watching my 4K copy of this specific movie. And so what we're going to be talking about in this video is the Scream Factory 4K release of The Fog. I got lucky. I was able to get my hands on the Steelbook. I'm not sure if it's still available or not, or if it's sold out, but I mean, look at that artwork. That's awesome. The one thing I will say about Scream Factory is they do have really cool artwork. And so then we'll open it up to the back real quick. We'll just kind of show it off. Kind of does a full-on picture there, which is very, very cool artwork. And we can show the inside just real quick. Let me just take this disc out. Got some cool artwork on the inside there too. All right, guys, so The Fog. I've seen The Fog a few times. I'm a big fan of it. If any of you are not familiar with it, it's directed by John Carpenter. It came out in 1980, and it's just a fun, atmospheric, kind of, creepy little film. I'm going to tell you what it's about, but I'm not going to just tell you what it's about. I'm actually going to read the back of how they describe it, just because I love the way they describe this film. It's just so cool. Whoever wrote this did a really good job. So I'm just going to read directly from the back what the movie's about, because they do it a lot better than me trying to explain to you what it's about. Although it's a pretty simple film. There's not too much to it. But I'm going to read it real quick. It says, the sleepy seaside village of Antonio Bay is about to learn the true meaning of the word vengeance. The seemingly perfect town masks a guilty secret, a past steeped in greed and murder. Exactly 100 years ago, a ship was horribly wrecked under mysterious circumstances in a thick, eerie fog. Now, shrouded in darkness, the long-dead mariners have returned from their watery grave to exact a bloody revenge. This movie is so cool. You know what this movie reminds me of? First of all, this is the type of movie, if you're sitting around on a nice, cool, dark October evening, and you just want a nice, moody, atmospheric film, but don't want one that's super long, just a nice, short little film, The Fog is kind of like the essential film to watch. This is like the quintessential, like, October late night Friday horror pick, at least in my opinion. Other people might think differently, but in my opinion, this is just the best movie to watch late at night. It's just very atmospheric. It pulls you in, and it's just very, very moody, and it's a lot of fun to watch. You know what this movie reminds me of? The Fog reminds me of a movie that, like, John Carpenter either one, owed like another movie to a studio that he had like left on a contract, or like two, he was waiting to do something bigger or needed more money to do something bigger, or wanted to do something that with an actor that wasn't available at the time, and he was like, well, I need to do something. Well, I got this little movie called The Fog sitting on the back burner. Let's do that. It doesn't take, it's a pretty simple film. We can probably bust it out pretty quickly. Now, whether that's actually what happened, I don't know. But that's what this film has always felt like to me. It always felt like it was one of those movies that was always just kind of on the back burner. And he was like, well, I can't do this right now, or I'm waiting for that, or I need more money to do that. So let's just make this little film for now, and then we'll move on to that other stuff later. And the only reason I say that is because it's not a complex film. It's very simple. It's very short. I think the running time with credits is under an hour and a half. And it's just very straightforward, and it's just a quick little film. And so to me, that it kind of seems like it was a film that was always just on a back burner, kind of a side project. I don't know if that's true, but to me, that's what it felt like. But it was like a side project that he put out, and it turned out was very cool and very good and extremely entertaining. So it was the little side project that paid off. That's kind of what The Fog felt like to me. Like I said, I don't know if any of that's true or not. I'm sure there's some sort of bonus features that talks about that. But that's kind of what I've always thought about The Fog. And I've always just really enjoyed it. It's always a fun one to throw in because it's super short. It's not super complex. You don't really have to think too much. There's not a whole lot of crazy backstory to it. And it's just a lot of fun. I highly recommend it. It's really good. All right, guys, so let's delve in real quick into the 4K release a little bit. I'm just going to read off here. So with this, so we do get a brand new Dolby Atmos track. You get a new restored original mono track. You have the 4K restoration that was done by Studio Canal. So this came out, I believe, quite a few years ago with Studio Canal. They released a bunch of those John Carpenter ones all at the same time. You had Escape from New York, The Fog, They Live, and like one other one. I can't remember. So this is the same restoration that you get with the Studio Canal. This thing is loaded with bonus features. As Scream Factory usually always has, is a lot of bonus features. I'm not going to read them all. I'm not going to read everything. I'll just hold it up there and hopefully you can maybe read it and you can pause it. If you can't see it, I apologize. Just look online. You'll be able to see it. But the one thing that I am going to point out that I happen to notice that I'm very excited about is you do get the filming locations of Sean Clark's Horror's Hollow Grounds. If you've never seen his YouTube channel, I was introduced to him through YouTube. I didn't realize that he was even part of the movie industry till later on, but he has a YouTube channel, and I don't remember. It's not Sean Clark. It's something different. I don't remember what it's called. I'll link I'll leave the link to his channel in the description. But he's got really cool stuff, guys. Sean Clark, he does filming locations. He does horror movie, like a lot of horror movie stuff, horror collections, stuff that he has in his collection, all kinds of stuff that's based around, for the most part, horror movies. Really cool stuff. And I was really happy to find out that you got a Horror's Hollow Grounds YouTube video on this, because that's really cool. You also get one with the Creep Show, I noticed too. So that's definitely cool. As far as this movie looks, guys, it looks really good. It looks really good. It's the grain levels in it are very good. Sometimes, like in some of the darker scenes, the grain levels I did notice tended to be a little bit thicker, which they're going to tend to be, but it was nothing that was overly distracting. During the day scenes, the grain level was not. There was a few scenes that were a little bit more grainy, but overall it was very fine. It was like a very fine grain. It looked really good. It wasn't anything that was too crazy, too distracting. The day scenes looked really good. There's not a lot of color in this film, but the little bit of color that there is looks really good. This film also takes place in like a coastal town, so you got a lot of roads winding up and down, like up and down the ocean line, like the shoreline. So it's a lot of really beautiful imagery. And it looks fantastic in 4K. It's sharp, crisp. It's full of detail. It looks really good. The black levels are good. A lot of portion of this movie takes place at night. I had no issues with any of the night scenes being able to see anything. Nothing really seemed too dark to me. If anything, like out of any of the night stuff, the HDR, and which does in 4K, which generally does tend to make things somewhat a little bit darker, only added to the mood and the atmosphere that this movie already had. So to me, it only added to it. It didn't take anything away, at least in my personal opinion. This movie is a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it, and I thought the 4K looked really good. It sounded really good. The Dolby Atmos track was really good. I had no issues there hearing anything. The one thing, now I've seen this movie, I don't know, maybe 3 times, 4 times, and it's been a long time since I've seen it. But the one thing that I noticed about this movie is a lot of the compositions, the way that the shots are set up. There are this thing is filled with just fantastic, creepy compositions. Just the way that he places the camera and the imagery that he gets. I forgot, it had been a while, and I forgot how good the camera positioning is in a lot of these scenes. It really helps portray this little town and the creepiness and the atmospheric vibe that he was trying to do. I guess I didn't notice. I guess I didn't really look at the camera angles as much in the past that I did this time. And this movie looks beautiful. It is beautifully shot, in my personal opinion anyway. I'm sure most people would probably agree that it's beautifully shot, and it's full of very creepy imagery. And that's all due to the way that they place the camera and the imagery that they got on the screen. This is it's a creepy movie. Not really scary, but a creepy movie. It gives off a creepy vibe, but it looks really cool. So yeah, guys, like I said, this is like the quintessential Friday night movie. If you're sitting around and it's a nice cold October evening, and we're almost in October now. I think tomorrow, I believe, is October 1st. It's a nice, cool evening. You're looking for, something to watch. Definitely go grab a blanket. Put on a nice hot cup of whatever it is that you drink, curl up on the couch, and throw in the 4K Scream Factory of The Fog. You will not be disappointed. I know I wasn't. All right, guys. Well, that's all I got for you today. If you like this video, give it a big thumbs up. Let me know you guys like what I'm doing. Like, share, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And I will see you guys in the next video. And let me know, hey, did you pick this up? Did you get the Steelbook? Did you not? What do you think of the artwork? What do you think of the movie? Have you watched it yet? Have you not? Are you planning to? Let's continue the conversation in the comments, guys. I love talking about this stuff. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye.